Hi there, welcome to Live with the Paper Pixie, episode 211. I'm Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and in tonight's live stream, I've got two wonderful projects for you. I have a fancy fold or a fun fold and a 3D project. We'll jump in and do those momentarily, but let me say hello to a few of you. Hi Nancy, Randy, Kathy, Suzanne, good evening. Hi, Deb and Vicky. Let's see, you guys are rolling on in. Many of you are here early. I was actually on time this week. Hi, Karen, Carolina, Desta, Cheryl. Welcome. I cannot believe it is September 29th of 2021. That is insane. I don't know where this year is going. Speaking of which, let's do a couple of housekeeping items and then we'll jump into tonight's projects. Tomorrow is the last day of our summer celebration. You can earn lots of free stuff with Celebration with orders of $50 or $100. You can also earn a free exclusive host set called In Your Words. And that's on orders of $300 or more. And the best deal of the bunch is the starter kit. You can get up to $185.25 in product for only $99. It's like a 46% discount. And that comes with all the perks that come with being a demonstrator. You get to see things first, you get to pre-order. We actually get to pre-order a really cool product suite starting on Friday. I'm always excited for those demonstrator perks. But again, tomorrow is the last day to order and take advantage of Celebration. So I am going to share really quickly my free gift for the month of September. Again, we are nearing the end tomorrow, but orders of $50 or more will get a choice of a free gift with me. This is something that I specially offer to my customers. Either the star-crossed embossing folder, the pool party striped grosgrain ribbon, or a trusty tried and true staple, the basic white medium envelopes. Please use the host code on any orders under $150. If your order is $150 or more, don't use the host code, but you will still get to choose one of the monthly free gifts. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you'd like complimentary copies of our current catalogs, you can submit a catalog request at thepaperpixie.com/happymail. I've got two things for show and tell tonight. They are actually from customers of mine. I don't have artwork from the kiddos this week. I'm going to flip the camera. I'll give you a sneak peek of the projects we're going to do tonight, and then I'll show you show and tell, and then we're going to jump right in. So thank you for joining me, and let's get started. Let's see. Flip there. All right, so this is what we're making tonight. This is coming from the Quiet Meadow Suite or Quiet Meadow Bundle in the annual catalog, a little throwback to that. And I wanted to do a little bit of a fall theme here as we're getting some cooler weather here in Atlanta. I'm not quite ready to jump into full-on Christmas projects yet, but this is a fun fold called a tuck fold, and this idea comes from US demonstrator Julie Davison. I love her work, but look at how cool. It literally just tucks right underneath that sentiment and then holds itself closed like so. I love that. And this I designed, oh gosh, probably 2.5 years ago. And I realized I was going through one of my drawers and I found a template. I'm like, I'm not sure I actually shared this version of the project. This is actually a hand cream and gift card holder. So this is my library card here, and that's going to fit right in the back of this box. And I've got a Bath & Body Works hand cream in it. I've shared a similar version of this box, but it was sized to fit, I think it was a lip gloss tube from Bath & Body Works, but I went to Bath & Body Works today, and they've got this white pumpkin and chai hand cream, but that fits perfectly in this, and what a great teacher gift. That's just one example of what you can use this for, a teacher gift for the Thanksgiving time, but I love that it holds a gift card in the back. You guys are always asking about gift card projects, so this would be perfect for birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, you name it. So let me show you the show and tell really quick, and then we'll start with the card. I want to give a shout out to my customer Minty. Look at this box. Now it's not Stampin' Up! Papers, but she did use the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I believe this box is a Angelina Clark from Intertwined Designs box. But I mean, I can't stop opening it, and just how it goes together. It's such an awesome, I think this is a cigar box is what it is modeled after, but Minty, thank you. I treasure that. She also gave me this amazing 3D pop-up card. Look at that. Oh, so, so good. Thank you, Minty. And then Angela, I wanted to thank you for this awesome 3D pop-up card as well. I can't remember what this is called. I know there's a name for it. I've seen a few of these before, but this is absolutely stunning using the Blackberry Beauty Suite. So thank you, Ange. I love that. All right, let's jump into the card. Let me show you that again. I love these fall colors, and then pairing it with the Misty Moonlight is just a beautiful color combination. So let's start. I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock that measures 5.5 by 6.5. I'm going to grab my Simply Scored here. And along the 6.5 inch side, we're going to do a quick score line at 4 1/4. That is really easy, so we're going to do that. And then I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight that measures 3.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to score this at 3/4. What could fit coffee related?
Tubes.
Hmm.
Like the one-shot ones?
You probably could put, yeah, the
Like instant ones?
The instant packets. You could probably put a few, like, you know, like the Starbucks Via. You could probably fit a few of those in here. It is, let's see, how wide is this? I think it's 4 5/8 long and 1 1/8 square. But I'll have to noodle on that. Maybe the hive mind here in the live stream, you may have some ideas for what could fit in there. Now, you never know. Bath & Body Works, they come out with some incredible scents, so you might find something coffee related. You never know. All right, so let me repeat this. 6.5 by 5.5, and along the 6.5 side, we scored at 4 1/4, and then I've got a 3.5 inch square piece of cardstock we just scored at 3/4. That's real easy. I'm going to need that again. Let's put that here. All right, so I'm going to fold and burnish on the score lines here. We got those two pieces. Let's see what else I got going on here. All right, designer series paper. This comes from, and I thought I grabbed, 1 minute. I'm using the Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper. I love this. I've used this on a couple of projects before. Beautiful combination of colors. And I chose 2 different patterns for this card. It adds a lot more interest to it. So I've got one pattern that is 2 inches by 5 1/4 and another that is 2.5 by 3 1/4. This project's going to post to my blog tomorrow with all the measurements. So you don't need to write it down now unless you can't wait until tomorrow, right? I'm going to first glue this panel to this fold over here, okay? So I'm just going to use liquid glue for that. I got a fresh glue bottle tonight, so hopefully I don't get glue everywhere. I feel like you have to condition your new glue bottles, or at least get comfortable with lots of extra glue coming out. So you'll have about 1/8 of an inch of the Misty Moonlight peeking around the sides of the Designer Series paper. And then on this one, so we've got this is now in a mountain fold. You want to glue this 2.5 by 3 1/4 piece to that side. Okay, go ahead and do that. Neither of these patterns are directional. If they were directional, you want to cut both of them in portrait. All right, so next I've got a piece. I gotta make sure this is the right size because I had a few scrap pieces. This should be 4. Okay, so 4 by 5 1/4 of basic white. I'm gonna flip this over and we're gonna put liquid glue right along the back side of that 3/4 inch section. And then I'm gonna take the long side of this 4 by 5 1/4 piece and I'm going to center from left to right. But I'm going right up to that score line. Does not need to be perfect. But again, the liquid glue helps you kind of slide things into place to get that centered, going right up to the score line there. And we're going to do that. We wanted to glue it to the base, almost said whisper white, the basic white first, and then we're going to glue this right to the inside of our card. So I'm just going to take liquid glue again and just kind of go around the perimeter of this white piece. Oh yeah, my glue bottle's being super finicky tonight. All right, now this is just going to center on the inside of our card. But it's going to have that flap mechanism that we're going to use to tuck behind our sentiment. So it's going to go like that. Okay. Love that. Tucked under there. Now you could have this go all the way to the edge if you prefer. I liked it tucked right underneath the basic white piece. All right, let's do a little bit of stamping here. I've got a scrap piece of basic white. Let me show you the bundle we're using. I tried to do some die cuts ahead of time so that I could save some time tonight. I'm getting ready to go on a 4-day craft retreat first thing in the morning. So tonight's a little, well, I should say all day today was a little bit chaotic. So here's the Quiet Meadow Bundle. This is the stamp set. And I just love the textures in this set. We're going to be using the sentiment, heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. And then this beautiful flower here. Look at this set of dies. These are the Meadow dies. I played Tetris to try to get them all to fit on I think this is a 5x7 magnet card, but I love what comes in here, especially this piece. We'll be using that on the gift card holder, but beautiful bundle that gets 10% off if you order that together. So I'm going to start with Misty Moonlight and our sentiment. And I'll kind of do this, I don't know, it's just a scrap piece of paper here, but we'll do that off to the right. There's that. And then I was having trouble with my crumb cake stamping off, so I decided to go with Sahara Sand, and then I don't have to stamp off. So there's a little quick tip for you. So we're going to do the flower stamp, and then I'm going to do that. Probably should have done the flower first, but we'll do it like, I don't know, about there. Just a little bit of extra texture there to the sentiment. And then I'm going to grab the Stitched So Sweetly dies. Now I've already die cut. I love these. These are a staple in my craft room. This largest one I've die cut out of Misty Moonlight. Then the second, I guess second smallest, this size, we're going to use to die cut our sentiment here. So let me bring in my Big Daddy machine, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. I need to replace my plates, but I like to use them until they break, pretty much. All right, so I'm going to put the sentiment off to the side, and then I've just got a Post-it note here that I'll keep that from sliding around on me. I love that little texture there off to the left with that flower stamp in Sahara Sand. I'm encroaching on Brian's space. I forgot to say, Brian is here watching for your questions, and he's been popping those up on the screen. All right, so we've got our sentiment, we've got our Misty Moonlight, and then I die cut out of crumb cake this pattern, or from the die set. I love that. We're going to put that off to the side here. Now I've got a tip here. Where is my sample? I put it just over the edge there, and that actually causes a little bit of trouble with opening this piece. So I don't recommend that. Let's be careful about where we glue that down. I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue, a couple of dabs on the back of these leaves. I thought about using our adhesive sheets, but some of the stem is hanging over, so I didn't want adhesive sticking where we didn't want it to stick. I'm just very gently adding just a little bit of glue. We tried to go on this craft retreat a year ago, so we're finally making it happen. I'm looking forward to it. But I haven't gone on a trip since February of 2020, I think. All right, so I'm gonna put this off to the right, but I don't want to go past the fold, okay? Just press that down. There we go. You just need a little bit of glue, but I love that just adds a little bit of texture to this card. And I'm using the color scheme from the Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper. So these two we're going to glue together. These cards go together really easily once you get your design set up. And they're a really cool and interesting fun fold. I'm just going to layer those two above each other, or on top of each other. And then let me show you how we figure out where to put our dimensionals, because the dimensionals are key here. I'm going to actually flip this over. So this is the way we want it, but I want to flip it this way so I can sort of envision where I want those dimensionals to go. And I'm going to grab 3 of them. So I'm kind of centered right to left, top to bottom, and I know that I don't want to go past this line. So our flap coming over, I don't want my dimensionals to go past that, or else your little tuck won't fit. So I'm just going to do those 3 right, those 3 right there. Then I can flip it over, and I'm confident that those aren't in the way. Then again, just going to center top to bottom, left to right, pop it into place. And look at that, it holds itself together. It's almost like a buckle fold. Julie Davison calls it a tuck fold, but it reminds me of a buckle. And then it'll open like this, and then just tucks right behind the sentiment. I love that. Let's do a little bit of embellishments. I haven't used pearls in a really long time. I'll grab a pair of those, and we'll just put those on either side of the Stitch So Sweetly die cut. So there we have our Quiet Meadow tuck fold card. Really great card to tell somebody you're thinking about them. This would be great for a sympathy card as well. So that's the card tonight. Let's do a coordinating box. This is actually in the mini catalog, Gail, I think. It's Harvest Meadow. Let me tell you which page. Yep, 54 to 56. Let me show you that. So here's the Harvest Meadow Suite, and this is the Designer Series paper on page 55. Beautiful. And then the Quiet Meadow, I think I forgot to show you, is on page 110 of the annual catalog. It absolutely, Brad, or it's probably Jackie. Jackie, yes, absolutely, this would work well with that suite. She's asking about the Nature's Harvest bundle. Absolutely. I think that the Stitch So Sweetly dies work really well for this mechanism. You could use our stitched rectangles, even the layering circles, something where it's sort of rectangular or circle is what I would recommend, and have it in landscape, and then make sure that there's space for you to put dimensionals just on this side of the card. A really great fun fold. So thank you to Julie Davison for that. Let's jump into the hand cream gift card box. Sort of a silly name, I think. So I had designed this box for I think it was a fall event that Brian King had put on, and I just never got around to posting it on my blog, which is sort of embarrassing, but hey, when I needed a project, it was there. All right, so Misty Moonlight, again, we're going to do that for the box base. This piece measures 6 3/4 by 7 3/8. And if I can get my act together, this will post to the blog on Friday with a shortened video tutorial. That's the plan tonight. Why is it always so crazy right before you go out of town? Maybe that's so you can really enjoy your time away. So 6 3/4 by 7 3/8. Grabbing the Simply Scored here. Myrtle, I don't know. I don't think it will. The glue is too wide. Yeah, it won't. Unfortunately, it won't fit. But that is a possible design modification. All right, so let's not cover up my measurements here. We're going to start on the 7 3/8 inch side. So that's the long side. And we're going to score at 1 1/8, 5 3/4, 6 7/8. Okay, 1 1/8, 5 3/4, 6 7/8. I'm going to rotate it clockwise, and we're going to score along the 6 3/4 inch side at 2 1/4, 3 3/8, 4 1/2, and 5 5/8. So repeat that: 2 1/4, 3 3/8, 4 1/2, 5 5/8. And then while I'm here, I'm also going to score at 1 1/8, but only down to that first horizontal score line. So 1 1/8, and then stop at the score line. That short score line there. Okay. All right, next, let's go ahead and fold and burnish on all the score lines that go all the way across. It's been so long since I made this project, I'm a little rusty on it, so I'm going to be relying on my template here. Bring that in. It was one of my old school templates where I had hand-written it, hand-drawn it, and then colored it in with our Stampin' Blends. That's how long ago this project was. All right, so this is what we're starting with. I'm going to start on one side here. Does it make a difference? It does, Cindy. That's why I add the clockwise to the instructions, only because that's the way that it'll match up with the template. If you go the other way, it's not the end of the world. It's just that, well, it might be the end of the world because we've got these different sections here. What might happen is your box might be backwards, so it'll make it a little bit harder to follow. So I do recommend following the direction as I've shared that. All right, so I'm going to turn it sideways. And this is where we've got our I think it's a 2 1/4 inch section. It's the wider section here on the right. And I'm going to come in with my paper snips and just cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at that first horizontal score line. So we've got this one here that we didn't burnish, but that is just a cutting guide. And I'm just cutting right down the middle of the score lines. I'm going to rotate it 180. We're going to do the same thing over here, cutting up each of the vertical score lines, but this time stopping at the second horizontal score line. Okay, so we've kind of released all of those. Now, while we're here, let's focus on this side. We're going to remove this entire left section here, so these two pieces. Actually, I'm going to turn it this way because that's kind of how we're looking at these tabs. The next tab, we're going to come in and actually, so sort of ignoring this tab here, this 1 1/8 inch square, I'm just going to eyeball this and cut it right down the middle. Like that. This one we're going to leave alone, so fold that out of the way so we don't cut it by accident. The next one we're going to do the same thing. Just cut that and eyeball it right down the middle. That just reduces some of the bulk. And then this last one, I'm going to actually turn it this way. We're going to remove that whole section. So now that looks like the template, okay? Let's focus on this side, so turn it this way. We're going to remove this corner. Again, this is where the template's going to help you for reference as you're cutting these. Once you make a few of them, you'll remember how to do it. It comes right back to you. We're going to cut these in half, or this one in half, the next one. We're going to leave this one untouched. We're then going to cut this one in half. Leave the next one untouched, and then we're going to remove this one, but it's easier if I turn it this way and remove. All right, so let me show you what that's looking like. Now we've just got some cleanup to do with mitering our tabs and rounding some corners. Let's go ahead and do that. Get this out of the way. All right, so anywhere where we've got those short tabs that we cut those in half, I'm just going to come in and miter. Over here, same thing, these little half tabs come in and miter cut. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in, and I forgot it, the detailed trio punch. And we are going to round these two corners, these two corners, and these two corners, so that longest tab that we have. Now it's easiest if you try to fold your cardstock so you get a flat edge here. That makes it easier to fit it into the detailed trio punch. And just take your time to make sure it's in position. This is a pretty narrow piece to be rounding corners on. That's going to help that tab tuck into the box. Then we got these pieces here again. Just getting that corner right in there. Folding tabs out of the way so you can get that flat edge. And then just work your way around. Okay, now I'm going to leave the detailed trio punch out because we're going to do some things with designer series paper. I'm not going to do this punch out yet. We're going to wait till we have adhered designer series paper as well as these two. So let me put that out of the way for a second. And let's grab our designer series paper. So we've got one large piece. This piece measures 2 1/8 by 4 1/4. If you had a directional pattern, you want that to be in landscape. I'm going to round the top two corners, like so. Then I have 3 pieces. Again, if it was directional, these should be landscape as well. These are 1 inch by 4 1/2 inch. So I'll just cut a 4 1/2 inch strip and then cut 3 1-inch pieces and 1 2 1/8 inch piece. And only one of these we need to round the top two corners. Like so, okay. Let's get this. I love the contrast of this. I think this is Calypso Coral with the Misty Moonlight. I think it gave a really beautiful look to this box. So we're gonna start with this piece here. Now, I've got, these are all mountain folds. That's the side that I am gluing this designer series paper to. So just take some liquid glue for that. And you'll have about a 1/16 of an inch of the Misty Moonlight peeking through. Let me show you how this is going to go together. We're basically going to meet up these two edges, and then the box is going to go like this. So just to eyeball where the next 3 pieces go. So this is going to be the front of our box. That big piece is the back of the box. If you wanted to conserve paper, you don't have to put this on the back, okay? So we are going to put paper in these 1, 2, 3 panels, not this one because that is the bottom. So our rounded piece is going to go right here. Such a big fan of liquid glue because it really helps get the paper right into place. So it's basically the big section, skip one, and then the next 3 sections. So skip the section closest to this big one, okay? I love that contrast. Calypso Coral and Misty Moonlight there. All right, so I'm kicking myself because I sold my 1-inch circle punch, and it would be a perfect punch for this project. What you see on the template is actually a 1-inch circle punch. But for tonight, I'm just going to use my retired 1/2-inch circle punch. I didn't let that one go, but that will suffice for both of these. The other thing you could do here is use the layering circles and the smallest one to cut out that sort of bigger finger notch there. But we're just going to go with our little 1/2-inch circle punch for tonight. I knew I should have made myself a note. Don't sell the 1-inch circle punch. So I'm going to have to get myself one on Amazon. So I am literally just sandwiching this in half. You're going to need a little bit of elbow grease here, but this will allow me to punch these both at the same time so that they're lined up. I'm just going to go ahead and do that and squeeze really hard. Woo! Confetti! All right, so we did that. Now, the other place that we want to add a finger notch is right here, the one that does not have the tab sticking out. And I just take this little 1/2-inch circle punch and line it up on the right side to that score line. That's the closest you can get to centering that or having it in the right spot. And then I only come in about 1/3 of the way and punch. So we do that after we've adhered the designer series paper. Okay. So again, I would recommend a bigger finger notch if you've got a bigger punch, or use your layering circles dies. So here's how this is going to go together. We're going to use tear and tape, but I'm going to actually only place this right here on the edge. So let me show you. I'm going to have a little bit of extra tear and tape hanging off here, I think. I can just fold it back on itself, but I want to go right up to the edge there. That's the only place I have to add tear and tape. And if I can find the library card, I just wanted to show you, you've got lots of wiggle room here. So you just want to make sure that if you're using a wider tear and tape, or you decide to use liquid glue, just take your gift card and make sure that you're not going to impede it from sliding into the box, okay? So I'm just going to take your pick tool and pull the backing off. Again, if you've got tear and tape kind of where you don't want it, just fold it back on itself. And then all I'm going to do is fold in half. So if I've got the tear and tape up here on the narrower section, you don't want to put the tear and tape here because you'll have tear and tape that won't stick to anything but whatever you put in the box. So make sure you're adding tear and tape to this top 1 1/8 inch section. And I'm just folding on the second score line up from the bottom. And that's basically just sandwiching that and pressing that in place. Then this is going to pop out. And that's what we're going to put our hand cream in. Now you could kind of fold this back and forth to sort of train the paper there. Okay. Now this is designed to have one end glued closed and one end will tuck in. So before I do that, now is the time to tie your ribbon. Ask me how I know. So I am going to go ahead, while this is still flat, we're going to tie a bow using the Bumblebee gingham ribbon, which I love this paired with these products. Perfect for fall and just reminds me of harvest colors. So I'm going to do that. Let me grab my trusty reverse tweezers here. That's going to help give me a third hand here to tie our bow. Get that knot tight and then hold that in place. Whoops. It helps if you put it in the right spot. There we go. Then we'll just zhuzh our bow here and get it the way we want it. So much easier to do this while the box is flat. Otherwise, if you forget, you can go ahead and tie the bow on the back of the box and then slide it around, because the back will give you a little bit more leverage. Now, I'm going to grab a mini glue dot here because I want to secure the bow in place. So I'm just going to hide that right underneath the knot of the bow, and that'll just keep our bow right in place there. Okay. All right, so let's work on the left side here. This is going to be our front flap, so it'll be the last one that we glue down. So I'm going to fold in those two, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of glue on them. Fold, whoops, fold the back flap here, and then I'm going to put glue on the back flap. And then fold this one over. Now the liquid glue, again, you can kind of square that up. I kind of squeeze from each side there. Then I'm going to beg, borrow, or steal the hand cream. And we're going to just slide that into the box to give me a little bit of leverage. I'm going to tuck that right into the box there. And then I can press from the other side and make sure that that's glued down. Okay? How cute is that? I love this. Now the hand cream fits on an angle. So just wanted to show you how that fits. Okay? Trying to conserve paper here, but get a perfect fit for that. So tabs go down, and then this just tucks right in. And then the recipient's got a little finger notch to open. Then we can slide our gift card in, and it'll fit a standard size gift card. Again, if you had a bigger finger notch, it would make it easier to pull the gift card out. Okay? And you might want to tell your recipient there's a gift card in there because they might not see it. All right, so let's go ahead and decorate this. I've got a scrap piece of Misty Moonlight. We're going to do a little bit of heat embossing. So I'm just going to take my retired but trusty old Stampin' Buddy, my very first purchase from Stampin' Up. Grabbing some Versamark ink and the sentiment, "You're Too Kind," from that Quiet Meadow stamp set. I love the contrast of the white. And grabbing my white Stampin' Emboss powder from the Basics collection. Sprinkle some white on there. And then let's heat tool it. There we go, starting to turn. It is always magic to me. All right, so let's grab this piece. I love this die cut with the stitching and the scallops on the edge. We're going to die cut that piece. I'm going to put the sentiment off to the right. Let me grab a Post-it note here because I want to leave some room for our white butterfly. There we go, that looks good. Melanie, I found that on Amazon. Actually, if you visit thepaperpixie.com/favorites, I've got them linked there. Really inexpensive, but it works really well for sprinkling the embossing powder. I like it better than the mini spoons. That was a tip from Jennifer McGuire. All right, let's pop that out. Got one little piece left behind there. The hand lotion from Bath & Body Works, Cindy. And actually, they've got a buy two, get one free of it. At least that was the deal today when I stopped in. I've also die cut from the same die set this basic white butterfly. And I'm going to kind of fold on either side of its abdomen there. And liquid glue. Just going to put that right in the middle of that butterfly. And put him off to the right. With the Versamark I just use our Stampin' Mist and a Stampin' Scrub. It cleans off the Versamark really easily. It's a stickier ink, obviously, but the Stampin' Mist works really well on it. So we've got that there. Now let's add a little bit of bling to our butterfly. Let's see. I'm going to do a medium one in the middle. Let's do a little trio here. And then a tiny one. And we are about done. We'll jump into Prize Patrol. There we go. I'm just going to grab a trio of dimensionals. And we're going to pop that up to the right side of the front. Let's get that butterfly's wings flapping there. And there we have our hand cream gift card gift box. Holds a gift card and a tube of the Bath & Body Works hand cream. This is white pumpkin chai. It smells really good. Wish we had some smell-o-vision there. The gift card's not going to get in the way because it stays to the back. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just show you what that looks like on the inside if the lights will catch it. Not quite. You can see the gift card sitting in there, but it does not get in the way of the hand cream. So those are tonight's projects using the Quiet Meadow Bundle. Some great fall projects. A thinking of you or sympathy card. This is the tuck fold, thanks to Julie Davison. Love these colors. And then here is our gift card gift box. Size to fit a hand cream and a gift card. Yay! All right, let's jump into Prize Patrol. If you are new here, here's how we do it. In the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, this is for the live audience. You can put in hashtag Prize Patrol, no spaces, make sure you spell it correctly, include that hashtag, and you'll be entered for a chance to win. Tonight's winnings will win the Joyful Life stamp set. I think this stamp set's so stinking cute, especially this little piggy here. Reminds me of like a Harry Potter piggy drinking a cup of coffee. Oh, I'm doing the wrong... Sorry. The Joyful Life stamp set. But this, like the Harry Potter piggy, I love it. Holding a little cup of coffee there. Joyful Life, and then if you might recognize this card from last week's live, you'll get a handmade card from my stash. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Let's do this. Let me flip. That's the camera I want to show now. We'll watch you guys all rolling on in. Look at that, 251. I'll give you a moment. So quick recap. Remember, tomorrow is the last day of celebration to take advantage of free celebration, of getting celebration freebies with qualifying orders or with the starter kit. I will have a new host code starting on Friday. And stay tuned, I'll tell you a little bit more about an upcoming early release bundle that demonstrators get to pre-order starting Friday. I'll share more information about it. You can also add that to a starter kit starting on October 1st as well. So I think that is it. Don't forget, you can always ask for a catalog with me if you don't already have a demonstrator. That's at thepaperpixie.com/happymail. And let's go ahead and draw our first winner. It'll slow down and then it'll stop and confetti with whoever wins. Yay, Deirdre! Congratulations! Let me get your name down. Make sure I'm spelling it correctly. Congratulations, Deirdre. Let's draw winner number 2. I see Milt is watching. Milt, I saw your name. Hello. Yay, Kristen Watson. Congratulations. All right. Kristen and Deirdre, to claim your Prize Patrol, let's go back here. You want to click on, or you want to visit thepaperpixie.com/Prize Patrol to claim your Prize Patrol, and I'll get these out in the mail to you. I will likely ship on Monday because I am headed out early tomorrow morning. Although if you claim tonight, I might get it in the mailbox by tomorrow morning. So congratulations to Deirdre and Kristen. You guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Let me go ahead and remove that. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed week. I will be live again next Wednesday for episode 212 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you next week. Thanks for joining me this week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next Wednesday. Take care. Bye.